Social technology is constantly evolving and increasingly offers new domains for sexual experiences. The researchers at the Kinsey Institute published a study in the Journal of Sex Research regarding this topic called Engagement with Emerging Forms of Sextech: Demographic Correlates from a National Sample of Adults in the United States. In this study, the investigated demographic correlates of engagement with emerging forms of sextech. The web-based representative sample included 7,512 American adults aged 18 through 65 years. Findings may contribute to the destigmatization of sextech engagement and forecast future norms in technologically facilitated sexual behavior. Participants indicated their engagement with 8 forms of sextech, including visiting erotic camming sites. Online sexual behavior has become exceptionally prevalent and is ever-evolving with advancements in technological accessibility, affordability, and anonymity. In fact, sex has been identified as a primary driver for technological advances. Campsites may facilitate solitary sexual experiences as well as social interactions with human partners or artificial agents. For example, hosting live erotic webcamming interactions, referred to as campsites, have become especially popular. Campsites allow visitors and models to interact with a model on camera and the visitor either corresponding via typed messages, audio, or a combination of audio-video media. The visitor and the model generally have a sexual interaction, although the sexual nature of the interaction is not required. The overarching goal of the current study was to document use of emerging sextech, guided by a few broad research questions. The first research question was, how common is engagement with various emerging forms of sextech? For this, we found that the most common form of emerging sextech was visiting a camming site, followed by playing sexually explicit online role-playing games or video games. For the second research question, we asked, which individuals are most likely to engage in use of emerging sextech? We found trends across the 8 forms of sextech indicated that participants were most likely to engage, interact with, or participate in sextech if they 1. were men, 2. were non-heterosexual, 3. were non-white, 4. were slightly younger in age, 5. had slightly higher income, and 6. identified as more religious. Regarding results about visiting a camming website, we found that camming website visitors were over 6 times more likely to be men than women, were nearly 3 times more likely to identify as non-heterosexual, that is, lesbian, gay, or bisexual, than heterosexual, and were nearly 3 times more likely to identify as South Asian versus other races or ethnicities. These participants were also slightly younger, had slightly higher income, and were more likely to be single than in a relationship. And for data surrounding those who participate in a camming stream, that is, tipping, posting messages for the performer, etc., men were nearly 5 times more likely to have participated in camming streams than women were. Lesbian, gay, and/or bisexual participants were around 3 times more likely to have participated in streams than heterosexual participants were. In conclusion, among over 7,500 individuals, the most common forms of sextech engagement were viewing online pornography, 50%, sending sex messages, 29%, visiting erotic camming sites, 18%, followed by playing sexually explicit online or video games, 13%. and participating in erotic camming streams, 11%. Across nearly all of our sextech domains assessed here, consumers were predominantly men, younger, sexual minorities, higher income, and more religious. This latter finding was especially surprising, given the negative association between religiosity and pornography use uncovered in prior work. Results revealed sexual minorities were over twice as likely to engage with each of the 6 emerging forms of sextech compared to their heterosexual counterparts. These patterns suggest emerging forms of sextech that offer opportunities for non-heterosexual engagement may prove especially profitable and popular among users. It is possible these novel technological domains offer relatively safe and anonymous contexts for sexual minorities to learn about and/or explore their sexual interests and identities. Across emerging sextech domains, relationship status emerged as a significant predictor only for visiting camming sites. That is, those in committed partnerships were less likely than their single counterparts to have ever visited a camming site, but not any less likely to engage with other domains. This finding may suggest partnered individuals consider visiting camming sites as more indicative of infidelity than other sex tech engagement, perhaps because cam sites involve interactions with live models. Overall, our findings reveal engagement with emerging sex tech is relatively common among American adults, which might contribute to destigmatization. To be sure, because these platforms are quite novel, future work is needed to assess the mental health, behavioral, and relationship correlates of such engagement. Nonetheless, the current results suggest the sexual landscape has dramatically changed, with technology increasingly offering avenues for sexual fulfillment across a wide range of demographics.